6:30. Let's call the meeting to order. Jake, let's have a roll call.
Scott Cornick.
Here.
Jeremy Hansen.
Here.
Paul Kraus.
Here.
Jason Weesey.
Here.
Travis Kramer.
Here. Notice that the Open Meetings Act is posted on the back wall. Public comment. John, you want to go ahead here? We'll have 3 minutes is for public comment. One policy is that we aren't allowed to interact. We just listen for 3 minutes, whatever you want to talk about.
Perfect. You prefer us to understand?
You're fine right
Okay,
there.
cool.
Go ahead.
All right, so we're here today just to talk about the Arlington swim team. So we've been running the program for about 4 years now. My wife and I and my mom had some really good success with the team. We've had 3 trophies in the last 4 seasons. We just won the conference championship meet. Some cool things that the program has done is the league has done. We actually just had 4 All-Americans. We're top 100 in the country that started out swimming in the swim league. So one is my son, which is pretty cool. But we've also had multiple swimmers come from Arlington Rec League and go swim for Fremont High, which not a lot of kids even know that's an option. So really a cool deal this year is we had double the amount of kids we normally have. We usually have about 15 to 16 kids. We had 34 sign up this year. So with that, the pool is tough to run practices when we're doing that. So there's certain amenities that we need that can help smooth out that process. We luckily didn't have every kid show up to the same practice. We had kids running into each other. And so the pool itself, which I grew up swimming in, used to have lane ropes, used to have starting blocks. We're down to 2 starting blocks. One is definitely falling apart. So what we're pushing for is some equipment. We need new kickboards. We need fins that we can supply to the team. We have a fee that we have to pay every year for the league. It's called Swimtopia. It's required for everybody in the league. It costs me $150 out of my own pocket, and then I pay $3 per kid. Right now, there's a $35 fee that we pay to the village. Not sure what all that goes to. I assume it's probably garden fees for staying for the hour of our practices and things like that. We don't have the ability to host any meets because, of course, we don't have the equipment, lane ropes, starting blocks, things like that. We also like to, push for lines to be painted on the bottom of the pool. So really love to get some kind of a budget for the swim team to have per year. From what I know, we're the only park and rec team that is under the village anymore. From what I heard, baseball's now with AYS and stuff like that. So we're looking for some funds. We were hoping for about $1,000 to cover some things, because just for the fees to be in the league, if we have 30 plus kids, that's already $250 for that. We would love to get fins and hand paddles and things that can advance our team. So big reason for my original comment about the success that we've seen is that's pretty much without any of that stuff. So I'd love to see where the program can go if we can get some assistance from the village and, financially to help continue to build this program and make what we're doing a lot easier. Just because if we could get a couple lane ropes, I'm not even saying lane rope the whole pool, if we can find that. I know I saw a Fremont Roman pool had this full of lane ropes that they don't use that are just sitting there. And so I know we've been in contact with the Fremont Park and Rec, seeing if we could get our hands on those. So not sure what that would cost, not sure what they would let go with those for, but that is an option we're looking into. I know reaching out to certain public schools like Fremont, Omaha Public School District, Lincoln Public Schools, they can have teams that are getting new lane ropes and are looking to get rid of. So that's something else I'm looking to do. But if we could get some kind of a budget, that would be great.
Okay, thank you for the comments. Anybody else here for public comment?
Can I just add to that, since I might not take 3 minutes, but
Sure.
For Fremont High School, or for Arlington High School, we co-op with Fremont for Swim, and not even all the kids know that. But getting kids through swim when they're little like this, the swim team at Arlington High School at one point was 2 kids. It was my 2 kids. And now we have, I think this last year we had 6 kids, and it's growing, right? And a big part of that is the thing. So it's not just the summer swim program, but it's getting kids involved in sports in high school that maybe wouldn't otherwise be in sports. So I think it's just part of the growth of our community, and it's important to support that.
Okay. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah.
No one else for comment. Let's go on to item 5, consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second that.
Unless we have any other questions or comments? Jake, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Let's have a vote.
Jeremy Hanson.
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye. No unfinished business this month. 7, new business request to appear from Michaela Valentin.
That's me, Michaela Valentine. There's no E on the end of my name, so it looks confusing. I've been here before. Some of you may remember me. I am the government affairs manager with OPPD. Sorry about the power outage right now. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So hopefully I'll have an answer for you before I leave, but that's not why I came to talk to you today. I came to talk to you because OPPD is seeking feedback from all of our local officials to tell us what you have growing and coming in your community in the next few years to come. We're building out our plan, which is called the Integrated Systems Plan. And what we do is we look at all of our resources that we have, all of our generating resources, what we currently have on the grid, what we need to have on the grid, and we build it out over the next 4 years. So we will do modeling and forecasting with a team of engineers and some outside consultants for a low, middle, and high energy scenarios. And then we will present that to our board by the end of the year. So we have a workshop coming up on September 22nd, and we invite you and the general public to come to the workshop and listen in on what we've found so far for preliminary findings on how much we're going to have to build out our system. I do believe it's going to be quite a bit because right now we are right up against the load that we have. So if you have anything new coming to Arlington, anything that you're considering in the next 3 to 5 years in terms of economic development, even if you're entertaining it, you don't have to, even tell us what the company is, but if it's something that you think is going to happen, like maybe manufacturing or something like that, we would want to know that so that we can adequately build out the system in this area to support whatever growth you might have coming. So this is something that is going to take the rest of the year. We do it every 5 years, and we're mandated by WAPA, which is the Western Area Power Association, to complete this report. We do it because we have a tiny little bit of hydro on our system, and we have to have that as resiliency for Offutt Air Force Base. So therefore, we're required to file this report. So I'm just going around to the different communities and asking for their feedback. We do have a webpage called OPPD Community Connect. And on that webpage, there are different tiles. And this is one of the tiles that is right at the front. It's called the Integrated System Plan. So we ask that you just take a look at it. If you have any constituents that you think might be interested in it, I would love for you to send them to that website. We also are reaching out through OPPD web properties. Anybody who gets a bill in the mail, we're putting it on emails or text messages that we want the public to be involved in this as well. So we just ask for your feedback, and you can certainly give that here to me today, or you can, have a phone conversation with me if you have anything that you would like to share or any concerns that you have about the system and what's coming in the future.
Okay.
Who is our contact for Arlington?
It would be Brittany Cleesaw. She's your account manager, and she's brand new. She was going to come with me tonight, but her schedule conflicted. So I'd like to be able to bring her back for you.
Do you have a card or anything for her?
I can send you her contact information. Is it okay if I send it to Jake so that
Yep,
you can
perfect.
send it around to all of you?
Yep, that'd be great.
And I'll make sure you have her cell phone number as well.
Yep. Thank you, Michaela.
Yeah, thank you. Are there any other questions?
Are you gonna have any more information than people can get off the website before you leave?
For
Or
the-
power outage?
I'm going to see what I can find out
Yeah.
here. I sent something to our grid operations leadership, and usually I'm one of the people who see the outages. Believe it or not, this is not the first time this has happened that I've been before a board and we've had a power outage. It just happened in Springfield.
Mhm.
So
Next time we might deny your request.
I understand that, and you might have some
So we're gonna invite you more. So
conflicting feedback, but I'm going to hang out and see what I can find out, and I'll just let you proceed with the rest of the thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Michaela. All right. Item V, report, John, Paul, and Jason.
Your report's in front of you. I really don't have much other than what's on the report. Charlie's here with JEO to talk about the project, the drainage project on Ellsworth, the bids and what he came up with, his recommendations. Other than that, it's just been the normal stuff, helping Russ out. Who's basically attending to our wells right now, so.
You satisfied with the overall asphalt repair project?
I mean, that's about what I expected it to be. Yep.
A lot of complaints, but I think people need to realize we're not trying to put a new street down. We're trying to repair.
Yeah, we're trying to
Until-
to get it to where we may be able to do a mill and overlay on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I met with JEO and Cather, the gentleman did suggest from Cather that we might be able to just skim it. And I don't know what kind of an overlay they were talking about, 2-inch or 1-inch or 4-inch. I don't know much about that. But he thought maybe we could just get by with skimming it.
Yeah.
And I know that we've kind of been in communications with the county about possibly a shared
Yeah.
cost on that. So, but this should hold up in the meantime,
Yeah.
hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Anything else for the streets committee? Or John? On this report? Okay, if not, let's move on to item B, discussion and possible approval of bid recommendation from JEO for Elkhorn and Ellsworth drainage improvements.
Hi there. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
John, do you just want me to take it away?
Yep, go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah, so a few weeks back, we went out, collected bids for the storm sewer project over there on Elkhorn and Ellsworth. Got a handful of really good bids. Contractor by the name of Armodus came in as a low bidder. JO has had previous experience with Armodus, not me or Todd. Todd is also here on Zoom. Todd or I haven't had experience personally with them, but we did touch base with JO staff that has had experience, heard generally good things. It was actually a storm sewer project as well. We went ahead and requested some references from the contractor and reached out to a couple other engineering firms that had worked with them in the past. Confirm capability to perform paving work and storm sewer installation. So we were able to reasonably conclude that they were qualified to perform the work. And so that bid recommendation that you got there in front of you is what we provided John with shortly after. So.
Charlie, do you have a time frame on this? Did you give a time frame?
We have, as far as completion date,
Yes, a completion date.
currently in the contract documents, the completion date is December 15th of this year. As far as constructability goes, we prefer it to be done before then, but it could be moved. So it's not necessarily a hard date, but that'll come quickly. So.
Is there any reason you would have a problem with doing that late in a year like this, or?
The only thing I would worry about is snow, but if it's December 15th, generally, if we get up to snow, it's,
No.
you know.
Yeah, I think we would just be monitoring for, especially with underground utility work, backfilling with unfrozen material. So things that we can work around and the contractor is able to, keep backfill material from getting frozen before they backfill with it. But
We also want to kind of stay away from the rainy season.
Yeah. Any budget concerns, Travis, with our I mean, you okay if we've been on this and
Budget wise, I can't think of it. I think we had it.
We have.
Got it in.
I think we have it. It's gonna be on next year's.
Yeah.
We've discussed that with JEO. I have.
Yep.
With JEO. They're aware.
So I guess.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say on that note too, by the time, we were to execute any sort of contract documents, if you do choose to go forward with that path, by the time they would get out there and begin performing work and get to the point where they'd be able to apply for the work, it wouldn't be until October at the earliest. So, which I think is when John said that your new budget cycle starts, if I'm correct.
do you have any concerns? I'll make a motion to approve the bid recommendation from JEO for the low bid of $377,240 by Amotus LLC.
Second.
Unless there's any other comments, Jake, we have a motion and a second to approve the bid from, is it Armodas? Armodas LLC in the amount of $377,240. Let's have a vote.
Paul Kraus,
Aye.
Scott McCorney,
Aye.
Jason Weasey,
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen. Aye. Travis Kramer.
Aye. Charlie, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We're gonna go ahead and bump the next one down because Russ isn't here. Maybe make it before the end of the meeting. So let's jump to police. Item D, Washington County Sheriff's Report, Mike, Scott, and Jason.
I'll make it tonight.
Okay.
Do you have anything, Scott? I didn't have any, Scott.
Yeah, I don't believe much more than reported last month.
I'm just skimming today's report quick, see if there's anything in here. I haven't seen anything on this report either.
Okay. Any other questions for the committee? Otherwise, we'll move on. Moving on. Item E, Parks. Parks and Library Reports. John, Travis, Jeremy.
The only thing I'd have for parks is we're gonna just meet with JEO tomorrow about the pickleball courts and possible modifications to what we want to do to bring the price down a little bit. I know the sticker shock was a little harsh. So hopefully we can work with them a little bit and they can figure something out. So tomorrow we'll be meeting with them. No more. Next meeting, or the budget meeting, I should say.
Yeah, that's about it for parks.
That's it.
Yeah.
Prepping for budget season, that's about it. So. Any other questions or comments about the Parks reports? Okay, if not, we're gonna move on to item B, discussion and possible approval of resignation from the library board member, Kelsey Wolf.
Make a motion to approve the resignation letter for the library.
I'll second that.
Jake, we have a motion and a second to approve the resignation of Kelsey Wolf from the library board. Unless there's any other comments, let's have a vote.
Jason Weasey,
Aye.
Paul Kraus,
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen. Aye. Scott McCorney,
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye. Since Russ is here, we're gonna jump back up to item C. Russ, we want to look for you. Water and sewer reports, Russ, Paul, and Travis. How's it now?
Are all the generators on?
Yeah.
The one well, that one, I don't know if that bottom one well, it's the east well, it's not on the agenda.
That's why
The air conditioner was running in there, so that got me baffled.
it was.
So.
I guess
The other wells now.
somebody prioritized differently.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to be cool while they're thirsty.
Get my brain back together here. The normal, they got that well back up and running up on Bell Street. So that's back up and going.
You want to kind of go over that with the board? There's a lot that went on there in the last month.
Okay,
If
so.
you would.
And what, did we go over last meeting? Kind of, sort of?
We had that budget meeting where we approved them.
Yes. So a little hole in the pipe down in the bottom, they cambered it. The screen on the bottom is pretty much touch and go. Like he said, you know, if we would have caught it right away, it probably would have been done. It would have blew a hole through that screen and it would have collapsed. But we got it back up and running, so at least we'll have water. You know, it could last 2 months, it could last 3 years. But
And how's that well performing right now?
fine. I'm pumping about 450, and then the other one I'm about 30 something. So
So many tests did you end up having to do before it passed? So there's a lot of water running down my street.
washing the streets.
I know, I was thinking about throwing a pump out there and start watering my yard.
Just wait till they do the new well.
Right,
24 or 1200 gallons a minute.
right.
So they got it back in. The pump on the bottom was shot, so they had to put a new pump in. Probably not going to be cheap, but we need water. They were supposed to be out to drill the test well last week. And I told Trav that day, was that last Friday, or the Friday before, one of their well friggin' guys fell, they ran him over.
Mm,
So they're down a guy, and I think they're just kind of baffled. So hopefully they get out. I'll call them this week or tomorrow, see when they come out to do the test well. Otherwise, we got a couple leaks down in Park, down on 3rd Street. Try to get those wrapped up this week or either next. Trying to find a valve to shut off on 3rd Street so we can isolate it. I'll be out 28th to start on lining the sewers. They got pushed back 10 days or so. So
Thanks for checking on the dog park the other day. I didn't mean for you to have to go immediately or anything, but
well, I didn't before.
yeah, I didn't know what it was either, so
There must be a hole in the hydrant line
gotcha.
because it's coming out. I replaced the guts on the inside, but that didn't do it.
Gotcha.
So I'll have to dig it up and put a new hydrant in.
Yeah.
When it's not muddy.
Sure. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate it.
Okay, any other questions for us on his report, or the committee?
Are we still on a voluntary restriction or anything?
Not really now. I mean, I'm down to pumping 150,000 gallons a day instead of 400,000. So
With all the rain we had last week, I doubt if anybody cares.
No.
That's what-
no, so I guess we could lift that. I would not lift it, but it'd be nice if people would do that anyway. If we could get them in the habit of
Yeah,
watering on their, odd number days, or odd addresses, even for even.
What was the amount that you said that it's pumping now that well? Cause before it was down to like 100 something or
Yeah.
200 something, wasn't it? Yeah.
And when I was flushing it, I was up to about 650.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So.
So whatever they did, it's working.
Going down.
Yeah.
Only about 25 feet and not less. Because we're not pumping as much.
Sure.
We're only running the wells or only running the last couple of days, probably about 6 times.
So hopefully it's bought
instead
us some
of
time
about
then.
12,
yeah.
so. And down at the sewer with that 3-inch rain, I did have a high level, but not like in the past with the 3-inch rain. I mean, that was at what, 5:30 it rained, and by 10 o'clock it was back down.
Normally that would have lasted most of the day. Yeah,
So hopefully some of that sewer work we did,
good.
it's good.
Yeah, I just saw something about Fremont raising their water rates. So I'm sure we'll get hit again.
Yeah, they actually called today talking about the new contract that they're gonna finally send over, so we'll figure.
Seems
it out.
like we just did that. Has it been 2 years, do you think?
Yeah, since the actual updated one, I think it's been even longer.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I didn't think it'd been that long.
They were supposed to redo it and never did, so.
Okay. Anything else for the water committee? Okay, we're gonna move on. Jumping down to cemetery report, Jake, Scott, Jeremy.
But,
Say I marked a few burials, but that's about it. Too much happening out there.
I think before, I was kind of talking to Jake about it, I think we still have some money in the budget from this last year for rock. I might put some more. Do some more rocking out there before the end of this fiscal year.
Okay.
We have it.
No issues with trees or anything with the storms that we've had go through or?
No.
Good.
There's not much left out there.
That's true.
After that winter storm we had, but.
That's true. That's true.
I got an estimate to cut down a tree in my front yard and that last storm took a bunch of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if my estimate will change now.
You lost a third of it. Or a quarter of it.
All right, anything else?
I know during the budget meeting, we touched on it, adding a columbarium out there, but I said I was gonna talk it over with Tom, but I don't think, let's not maybe.
Maybe we'll do a little bit more investigating this next year and see, I don't even know what they cost. I know there's people that are doing their own out there now. I mean, you've noticed that. They actually have tombstones with columbariums, you know, right in them.
Anything else for the cemetery committee? If not, move on to item G, administrative. Livingston County Building Permit Report. Building permit. Anything to discuss on the building permit report? Okay, we're gonna move on. Let's go to item B, clerk's report.
Like I said, marked some cemetery plots this month. Been working on budget items. I got with John and Russ about things that were left over from last year still, so we got all that sorted out.
Oh, nice.
That discussion. Got everything sent over to Lindsay and Ryan and them also, so that's all set. I've been working with Eeks. Eddie's gonna come Wednesday, library computer, get those installed and work on something out here as well. We got our first sidewalk program reimbursement done. So that's nice. That's in motion. Just been working on the payable, still kind of getting a new system in place for that. Set a time to meet up with Ryan to work through all the software and how everything's supposed to look. So hopefully that'll be smooth sailing from there. Nuisance properties. I did talk to the lady with the one we had addressed last meeting. She said she is working on it and was going to keep me updated. I know with the weather and stuff, she hasn't been able to get a ton done. John's been checking in on it. I do know that she has started work on it. So that's where we're at with that one. And then just been kind of doing random tests and help the library with some tech stuff, doing some floodplain things for John, things like that.
Okay. How did we decide to handle the funds for the sidewalk program? I know that was from a grant that we received.
Yeah, it's
Do we-
from the trust.
Do we have a special bucket of funds for
Yes, we do.
that?
We got a new revenue code and everything set up with
Okay.
Ryan. So
So-
it's all going into one spot and he'll basically monitor it like he does with the library.
Okay, gotcha.
Jake, is that a yearly thing?
I believe so, from my
Or is it in
understanding.
the fiscal year then, October?
I'll have to double check if it's October for its.
I just didn't know if we needed to put something out on Facebook or something saying that this what I have.
Since the funds are in there, it's just as long as it's funded, right? We
Correct, yeah.
But it carries
That's
over,
what we-
too.
yeah,
Carrying
it
that.
carries over, yes,
wouldn't have to budget for it because as long as it's funded, we just keep offering it.
correct.
I didn't know if you did use it, if you lose it.
No.
No.
It just
Yeah.
keeps building.
And that's not a set fee, but do you remember what it has been the last?
The last deposit was probably over a couple of years worth of whatever it was. I don't remember what the dollar amount is off the top of my head.
Just think-
Something,
I don't-
yeah.
Okay.
Well, what's in there now then after the 2,000 was spent?
I wanna say what we got was around 36,000, so we should have around 34,000
Okay.
now.
All right. I didn't know that because that's been the only one, right?
Correct, yeah,
Only application, only one we finished. all that
yes,
stuff. And then you just go out and double check to make sure they actually do the square yards that they say or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions about the clerk's report? If not, we're going to move on to discussion and possible approval of service agreement with Ortmeyer CPA.
So these are all the same services, Jake, that we have been doing. Is there anything that we were going to take off their plate or?
from that discussion that we had, we are just taking over the main payables, like the invoicing, coding, that type of thing. Everything else should remain the same from my understanding.
Yeah, we specifically spoke to him about Jake taking the accounts payable and entering it himself, so he codes it. He'll know more about the coding, where things are at. I think that'll help us with our budget planning. Just not, we can do a very specific job putting things where we want them to be.
Yes,
And Jake was very on board for doing this, so thank you, Jake, for having an interest in that. Hey, you haven't started doing any yet, is that correct?
no, and I've had that conversation with Ryan, so.
Okay. And they did offer what was the percent discount?
I believe it was 10%.
That's
believe that they said
10% discount for that. And Lindsay's comment was that there's a lot of other documentation, filings and things, legal expertise and things that they're responsible for. So that's why they felt that that was an appropriate number for taking this part back.
What was the current fee? I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Right around, I want to say it was right around 52,000 for the year.
Because going from 12,263 to 13,514, that's 10% increase by the time 28-29 rolls around. So. And it's 4% from whatever. 26-27 to 27-28. That's why I was just wondering what the percentage was. Of what it currently was. I can go back and look at one of the other months.
And if there's questions about this agreement, we're going to have to schedule a meeting with them here in the next couple weeks. That we will have them here if we want to add that to the docket for that day. So if there's any concerns about approving this and want to extend it.
Is it normally 3 years? Like, is it a standard 3-year agreement usually with our CPA?
We didn't have one.
I didn't think we did.
No.
It was just this is what the bill was.
This would have
It's just a yearly, year by year.
So I guess my question would be, is now the time to just look again to see if this is still our best fit? I know we went with, we've changed our lawyer. That seems to be good, right? Like, do we want to relook? If we're signing a 3-year agreement, that puts us in for 3 years. I mean, if we didn't any other agreement for 3 years, we probably would look at bids. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, not that I've been disappointed with
No.
how that's been per se, but
Valid
we're just
question.
doing our due diligence to see what it's gonna be or what the market is. You know, let's see what it is, you know.
Comments, thoughts?
In the event that this agreement is terminated by Arlington prior to completion of the services, but where the services have been partially performed, Ortmeyer will be entitled to pro rata payment for the compensation of the date of termination, provided that there has been no breach of contract. So it looks like we have an out.
Jake, how often do we get charged for additional services? I'm just curious because it says the hourly fee for that's $250.
I haven't come across any additional charges as outside of our just normal quarterly payments.
Okay.
There's usually not too many surprises for them. It's not like
With them.
it's not like litigation.
They can reserve the right to modify the fee schedule on an annual basis, but they want us to sign a 3-year contract with the numbers that are in there. That's interesting.
I would say, in the interest of getting our budget numbers done, we go ahead and approve this unless somebody has a serious resignation. But it looks like we can get out of it, right? Is that what you read? With notice? And, you know, I would imagine we'd have to pay through the quarter or whatever.
What number did you?
That was right after
Term-
the charges for service. It was in number 3 towards the end.
Gotcha.
Well, we can either have a motion to approve, or we can table this for our next budget meeting if we decide to discuss it with them in person. I think that's probably the two, or pursue other avenues if somebody wants to motion for that activity. That's a 5% year increase.
Paul, it looks like you can terminate within 30 days of written notice annually. Right? And then at the end, if there's any services that are done within that time frame, it'd be prorated.
I feel like that's enough for us to get out if we have a problem. Are you
Like
okay with that?
Oh,
give us a year or whatever to look at it.
Yeah. Well, everybody's okay. I'll make a motion to approve the service agreement with Ortmeyer CPA as presented.
I'll second that.
Any other comments? Otherwise, Jake, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Ortmeyer CPA as presented. Let's have a vote.
Scott Corning,
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen,
Aye.
Paul Kraus,
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye. Item D, discussion of date for next budget meeting. Our next board meeting in September will be budget approval. And after speaking with Lindsay and Allison,
And that's gonna be the 15th, right? No, the 14th. 21st.
21st.
I'm sorry, I was looking on Tuesdays first on that.
21st, yep.
So we have to do it before the 21st.
Right, because that night will be just approving whatever we have. We won't have time to go back and rework anything if there's any questions. Allison said that sometime this week or so, we should get property evaluations in. That will have an estimated number for property taxes to then put against the budget, finding out if we can, how much our levy will have to change based on property evaluations. So this is where we just throw out a date. I'll start with, I don't think it has to be in September. I'm pretty sure that Lindsay.
How close could we be to that meeting?
Really close. I mean, we need to give them a little bit of time if they have to rework the documents for us to approve. So, I mean, if you guys like Mondays, 7th, 14th.
7th late.
Labor Day, 14th would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would prefer it was that week of the 14th through the 18th. Either Monday or Wednesday would work good for me.
I can do either one.
Monday works for me. Wednesday does not.
Monday, the 14th work for everyone.
Time are you looking at?
Normal,
Normal?
6:30.
That's fine.
Do you need us here?
Only if there's other things you want to discuss in the budget.
You guys have everything ready?
Yeah, hopefully it's all buttoned up at that point because we should be looking at compile the summary of the projects, and that gives us just about a week to tweak and tune if something's not going to work from that night.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm available open evening. I'll plan on that one.
So Jake, would you be willing to reach out to them and seeing if they can be here on the 14th,
September 14th at 6:30.
6:30? And that will give us one last look at the numbers and what we can fit in for levy, and they'll have a pretty good idea at that point what it's gonna look like. Any other requests for Allison and Lindsay? Things you'd like to see, questions?
Like to see if they can find about 10 million for streets.
4 million.
Yeah,
I was gonna put a name on that sucker.
I got a ticket for tonight. I'm telling you, I'm gonna pave at least 2 streets if I win.
It's you're
I'm
out
gonna
meeting,
won that
so.
building.
That's on recording.
You're out meeting.
I say streets or blocks.
Other than that, there's a personnel item that we could discuss in executive session. If we'd be willing to discuss that.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session, discuss personnel budget issues.
I'll second.
Nate, we have a motion and a second to go into executive session. Let's have a vote.
Jason Weasel.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen. Scott Corning. Travis Kramer.
Aye.
What's your answer? What'd you find out?